Yo, what's going on? What's going on? So, people watching for the Taurus energy, Tauruses, cross watchers, just wanting to know about the Taurus energy in general. Here we go. This is going to be something relatively new by the time you're watching this, or by the time I'm doing this, rather. But I'm doing an astrology spread, okay? So, those of you who know me for astrology, this is going to be drawing cards from houses 1 through 12 and giving you a depiction of how that looks for you right now. All right, I may cuss but I don't curse. Let's get that situated first. Bars, you know what I mean? And same thing applies when it comes to the description box. My website link is there, so if you want to reach me, that's how you do it. All right, there's a hyperlink in there for you. So with that being said, hope everybody's doing well out there. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get to this reading. So it's going to be a 12 card draw. So, you're going to be here for a little something. You know what I'm saying? If you got to save it for later because you got things to do and all that, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. I understand. Life gets to life in, and you got other stuff to get to. You know what I mean? But, just come back and finish watching it whenever you get the chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's going to be some type of gems or jewels in there for you. But if it don't apply, let it fly. Please let me say that. Also, for those of you who don't know, let me just give you this information, right? There's 2 zodiac wheels in astrology. Meaning, so let's say you go to the newspaper and you go to read your horoscope today. Or sometimes they got them in the apps now, right? And let's say you're a Cancer. They're going to base your first house on the sign Cancer, because that's where your sun sign is, right? But for those of you who have your natal chart, let's say you're a Sagittarius ascendant, that means your first house is Sagittarius. So I want that to be known before this reading gets done, because, excuse me, some people don't have their natal charts, all right? Understandable. So you would most likely be applying the first house to Cancer. If you're a Cancer or whatever your sun sign is. But if you do have your natal chart, you may be applying it to your natal chart, or you may be applying it to both to see, to compare and contrast. And that's your prerogative. That's up to you to do, should you have the resource available to you. All right? So, now, with that being said, I'm going to cut this deck, and we're going to get to it. Now, first house, we're going to be talking about your body, how you giving your presence off, what it's giving. You understand? We have the Emperor for the Taurus, okay? So I'm getting that you have a strong foundation. Your aura is giving off probably head of the household, probably head of the family, but someone who makes decisions logically, someone who has afforded themselves some stability in their lives, which in return has produced some type of structure in your life. This has a stern presence about yourself. You're the reliable type. You're parenting in a way that is upright, sound, disciplined. More of a father figure attitude, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is leading by example, showing, even if you're a mom, like you're showing your children the hard knocks of life, and not necessarily doing it that way, but just teaching them by leading by example and saying like, yo, I work so that I can obtain this. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this, that, and the third, because of the life that I provide in this structure. You know what I mean? Pardon me, but I'm not answering that. So, that's what's happening when it comes to your aura, the presence that you're giving off. That's how you're being seen, as an authoritative figure, someone who's in control of their life, in control of the things that's around them. You could have a materialistic attitude. You could be well accomplished, well established, and things of that nature. So, let me draw the second card for your second house. We have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm seeing there's some type of issues when it comes to your financial resources. This is a money house, the second house. It's about your personal possessions, your materialistic attitude. And I think what it is with you is you're cutting off the faucet, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's like when people, I hope this is loud enough. Okay, yeah, it is. So when people are when people abuse their privileges with you, it's like, all right, no more, because I let this go on for long enough, and it was something that you had to. I get that these people are close to you in some type of way, whoever you've pulled back away from when it comes to resources. You're not as giving, you're not as generous, you're not sharing the wealth anymore. This could be someone, I don't know the condition of these people, but it might even have something to do with you kind of may be aware that they can't handle money. So let me give you like a scenario. Like maybe they're grown and capable, able-bodied, yet they ask for loans from you from time to time. But when you really look at it, or from the outside looking in, somebody might even told you, like, you giving them money again? Like, you giving them money again? Like, you always do that. And I get it. It's because you're wealthy, because you have wealth. You have it to give. And not for nothing, your initial stance is to be a generous person. But it's like these people are not learning how to take care of themselves, I get. And they're not ever going to be able to obtain the foundation that you've obtained if you keep giving to them like this. You see, this is a 4 card too. The first card drawn for your first house is a 4. You're leading by example, but your feeding is not going to make a good example. You got to lead by example and cut the feeding off, and that's what you've done. So be it. Okay. Third house, let's get to your immediate environment. What's going on in the hood? What's going on in the community? All right. So we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So, now this could be one of two things. This could be you carrying some type of workload. Like, let's say you work, right? And you work a substantial amount of hours in a day. I feel like when you're coming home, you don't feel like your salary is worth where you are. You don't feel that. You feel like you're actually carrying more of a burden than you need to be to even be comfortable in that environment, in your community. And not for nothing, another reason for this is because a substantial amount of your community does not see things the way that you do. Now, of course, that comes over sounding wild, right? Like, it's a community. People are different. You can't expect people to be the same, and I get it. But when you do look at community and you look at the word commune is in there. So that means you actually are expected to be on the same vibe, the same frequency, walking in the same tune. And I think a lot of people forget that. And you're experiencing that right now. You're on the verge of doing something that is monumental, the type of weight that you're carrying. However, those around you are not carrying it that same type of way when they have the same type of opportunity, more or less. You know, everyone's situation is not exactly the same, but what I'm picking up here is that they could be picking up more weight, picking up more slack in their everyday lives and careers, more importantly here with this card, because I see Saturn here, and they're just not doing the work. Yet they want, I guess they have bigger dreams and want better lives, but they're not willing to put in the type of work that involves some type of freedom loving, not just being work, but I don't think they get it. And that has you like, man, looking at your community like, I don't know if this is the greatest fit for me, because when I come home from work, I don't see what it is that I want to see in the community. So let's draw the 4th house card. We have the 10 of Swords. So this revolves around legacy. This revolves around your family foundation. And this revolves around savings as well. So I say this, your family and stuff like that. I say this, your family life is not the hottest. Now again, if this reading doesn't apply, let it fly. You understand what I'm saying? This is why it's important to say that, or to get that to the heads or through the heads of viewers. You know what I'm saying? But this is the type of family dynamic that is treacherous, that you can't trust a soul in your family because it's full of backstabs, it's full of betrayal, and you've witnessed it and experienced it time and time again. It's to the point where you look at when a family member addresses you or approaches you as a sign of bad luck, like it's a bad omen. And what I'm getting is you're severing ties with your family members because you've discovered something. You've discovered that there's a thing called generational wealth, and there's actually a formula or a recipe attributed to that term. That it says this, that there's a battle going on within relatives to be that actual one. So you know how you could go to Thanksgiving and shit like that, right? You go to a event, family event, you could be a barbecue, you know what I mean? It's birthday celebration, you make it fit how it's supposed to fit, pause. But people can come across as trying to one up you in those events. That's a clear indication of what this recipe, this formula is for generational wealth. That someone in the family is trying to be the one in the family that is the head of the family, the whole lineage, the whole tree. And you may think to yourself, or may have thought to yourself, like, that's not cool, that's not right, that's not how life is supposed to go. But you're learning now, you're shocked even to find out that is how life is. It is. I'm going to leave that part right there because I could drag that for so long. It would need its own video by itself. Let's pick up the 5th house. This is where you're being expressive, creative, and, you know, the aura that you're giving off, like, if it comes to the, you know, to the limelight, if you're a star of some sort, things of that nature. So we got the 6 of Cups here. So I get that you're expressing yourself in a, not generous when it comes to finances. We've already cleared that up. But generous when it comes to your emotions. So it's like you can teach a whole lot of people, or you're teaching a whole lot of people how it is to feel a certain way. And that feeling I'm getting is good. It's jovial. It's childlike. People are really gravitating towards that because you're bringing out their inner child and you teaching them, hey, you know what? It's not over for you. You have more time than you actually think you did. You can be this way too. You don't have to let the ways of the world bog you down, make you old, age you, stress you, because there's a sense of freedom that comes with sharing this sentiment with other people. It doesn't have to be ego-based, but it does have to come from a healthy ego. You have to be happy with yourself, proud of yourself, in order to share that type of vibe with other people. And that's the way that you're expressing yourself right now. So it is being generous, but it's in a way that is showing people how to play again, you know? And people are vibing with that. They're loving that right now. It's being able to share your gift. So whatever it is that you do, I get that it's generating the type of attraction to you that's sharing the same sentiment. So you'll know when people are in tune with their emotions with you, then you know that like is attracting like. Let's get to your 6th house though. Let's get to your 6th house. Bam. What we got? This is interesting. This is the 5 of Pentacles. So there could be trouble in China, so to speak. You know what I mean? So you're experiencing some financial hardship right now. 6th house is representative of the workplace. So I get that it's deriving directly from the workplace. Now, this could be because you're choosing to take a career path that is unorthodox. Not only that, this can be something that pays on the back end for example, meaning you have to do the work first and then see the result, which is up in the air, unpredictable when it comes to revenue generation, and you just don't know how much money you're going to make in the next week. I tell you one thing, that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. But I don't see you faltering, I believe is the word. I don't see you cowering behind this financial position that you're in right now. You are aware that it's temporary. You are aware that you can come out of it. But it just feels like the world is against you. If we're going to keep it a being, it feels like the world is against you. And that's how it's going to feel when you're working on something that totally belongs to you. It's like the saying goes, taking up your cross, the biblical term. You're taking up your cross. And when you're doing that, you can't really, even though it's tough, right? Of course, you're going to look left and you're going to look right like, man, this shit can't be going my way because look at the fucking mess that I'm in right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's why you shouldn't look left and look right. This is one of those situations where you keep your blinders on because only you know where you're going because you're taking up your cross. And knowing that this financial hardship is temporary, you're giving yourself the opportunity to project and fantasize, daydream even, about, not about having what you don't have, but being in the feeling of having everything that you want. And that starts and it begins by realizing that you have everything that you need. All right. So thoughts of homelessness and real poverty and stuff, they're going across your mind like, man, I got to get it going cracking soon. Or, that pressure is there. But that's part of the plan is what I'm getting here. I would say to look out for health, though. You may be struggling with a leg issue. Something may be wrong with your leg. Maybe sciatica, maybe a sprained ankle, maybe sore knees. But check into it. I would say personally to look into some holistic remedies that can assist you in that area. So now let's draw the 7th house card, all right? It's going to be relative to enemies. This could be relative to relationships that you have open in the public. This could be relative to your significant other, your lover, all right? But relationships in the public at large in general. These are, and if they are enemies, these are enemies that are known enemies. So we drew the Hermit card, right? First major arcana out for the reading? Yes, it is. So I'm getting this. It's an evolutionary process. We went from the 5 to the 9. Even though the 6 to the 5 was a little step backwards, but depends on how you look at it. So this is you actually looking within yourself to understand what it is about you that ties you into relationships. This is pertaining to the relationships that you have with other people already. And I even see and feel that you've had a recent conversation and a question was asked to you about, well, how do you think we vibe so well? Or why do you think we argue so much? What is it about me? Like the person is actually asking what it is about them. Because you're perceived as to be this person who is wise, has experience, like the Hermit suggests, right? And you might be thinking to yourself right now, I don't have an idea what the fuck you're talking about because I am a shit show. And see, this is what happens when major arcanas come out. It's not in your control. You can't stop what people perceive you. See, this is how people perceive you. The first house is how people perceive you. So even if you don't connect with this right now, you're being seen that way. You sure carry it like you are. So again, with this 7th house, with the Hermit card being here, you're actually searching within yourself. You're reflecting on yourself to find out what it is that can make you a better person in relationships. I think you've been oblivious and like dropped the ball and missed out on cues that can actually bring you fulfillment in relationships, and it derives from some type of hurt that you're harboring and holding on to from other relationships that didn't work. That's not fair to the opportunities that you didn't give out there. Now, I don't. It may be just because of the poverty discussed in the work area with the finances there that is preventing you from being a better person in relationships. But I think that's why you're missing the point here. That shit shouldn't matter. I'm not saying to drop the work to pick up romance, but I am saying to not avoid it. Like, you can have a better work day if you took the time to chat with someone who reached out to you and said a few nice things, and they may have even hinted at flirting, and you just like, you understand what I'm saying? None the wiser or oblivious, or just not wanting to engage in that type of way because you feel you don't got the bag right now. You shouldn't entertain, nothing like that. Like, do they know? You don't have to communicate all of that to them. They don't have to know about that, especially your finances in the workplace. They don't have to know all of that. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you're searching yourself out right now, to figure out how can you show up better in relationships, to match the criteria of not someone who is wise, because I get with both of these cards out, I get you are actually wise. And it might be the hardships that are shaping and molding you that way. But if they only knew, they would be even more interested and impressed by you to know that you're going through some shit like that you're going through right now. I'm just keep it a bean, But again, you don't have to reveal that. This is more about you going internal to find that out. Because not for nothing, like I said, it's the major arcana. They're under the same guise, forced to go within, and that's why they posed a question to you like that. What is it about them that has y'all tied together the way that y'all are tied together, whether it's friction or whether it's not? This is also an area where you may be going within to figure out your enemies, how you play a role in their lives. Why are they your enemies? Why don't they like you? Moreover, why do they have something against you? Did you really do something to these people, or is it the ignorance, the ignoring of these people, or the just opposite lifestyle, or you have something that they don't, or you have something that they want? Again, you apply this to the enemies that you have, and make that work the way that it's supposed to work. You may need some healing from that as well, because it may do or impact you more than it needs to. You may put too much worry on that of having enemies, and it's just like, man, you got to live your life, because the more you apply to your life, the better your outcome can be. So go inward, and you're going inward to keep that focus on you. So let's bring up the 8th house. This could be about your transformation, or this is going to be about your transformation, and it's also going to be about other people's resources. Okay. So for the Taurus energy, we have the Queen of Wands. This is good business sense. So this can be directly relative to the area of credit, also insurance, car notes, mortgages, inheritances, primarily through death. What are you doing with that money, that inheritance? This can come in the form of a trust. Maybe you're building a trust of some sort, some type of security asset. So this is you actually having good business sense when it comes to that. I believe you're making your debt payments on time, and it's already been revealed that this is not the greatest financial time for you. However, those timely payments, whether you're making the minimum payment, you're probably making the minimum payments right now, it still shows the type of resilience and the type of dedication, the type of loyalty, the type of reliability that's needed to go the long haul, go the long way. Pause. But I'm keeping it a beam with you. Like, these types of relationships that are built in the 8th house are relatively associated with people you may not never know. You may not ever speak to, you don't ever see. They're just factions, they're institutions. yet they still know enough about you to determine what type of individual you are based upon payment history. All right, so your credit score might not be the greatest right now, but you got a payment history that's long enough to say, well, we still fucks with them, because no matter what they're doing or how much they have, they still give something back. They do understand we had a term and agreement, and they're upholding their bargain. You know what I'm saying? So this goes even more to show that you know this work situation of financial hardship is something that's temporary, because you know money, you got good money sense, and not for nothing, you make this shit look good. You might be in the sex industry, I'm picking up on. In some type of way, you're tapped in there, yeah. And you enjoy the competition. And I say the competition just because it's such a big field, especially now, that you're like, okay, I know my source, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know the assets about you that make you unique and make your area of the sex industry niche. Again, you make it fit the way it's supposed to fit. It could be the beauty industry, you know what I mean? Like makeup and, you know, what do they call those things? Try-ons and things of that nature. It could be in that area too, but it's definitely something that oozes sex appeal, and it sells. It has the potential to sell. You may have not, this might be something that's kind of still in the dark right now, that has just been illuminated lightly. I see the moon here, but I see Leo there also, so it's going to be showtime in a bit, and I believe that's what the transformation is taking. That's the transformation that's taking place in your 8th house right now, that you're going to transform that energy and channel that energy and come out as a motherfucking butterfly, and shit going to be really on and popping. Let's draw the 9th house card now. 9th house card for the Taurus energy. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. So the 9th house deals with your higher calling, your way of life that you're branching out and doing for self. This could be in a religious vein. You could be carrying on tradition in that way, or just adopting to a different culture. It could be from overseas. It could be a different way of life that's unorthodox. This could be higher education if you're looking into school, things of that nature, right? That's the gist of it. Travel, long distance travel. But what I'm feeling right here is that you're disgusted with the current political, religious, whatever's being shown in the public arena the most right now. You're disgusted with that shit. You're appalled. And it puts a damper on the bigger picture that you have, the vision that you have. So I tell you like this. Let's say you were writing a book, right? And you wanted to make a happy ending. I'm getting, because of the way you see things now, that book is going to turn into a totally different book. There's going to be all types of mayhem and fucked up shit happening. And it's because you're under the guise that in order to bring your vision into focus, you actually have to do a bunch of treacherous shit and fucked up shit. And I don't mean in real life. I mean you have to put emphasis on it when you're developing a philosophy. Okay, so if someone wants to converse with you or debate with you about politics right now, you're going to come up with some of the most dark and sinister shit that you can reveal, that you can put emphasis on. And they're going to be like, yo, wait a minute, 9th house shit, you know, what's happening to the optimism of Sagittarius? And then it's just like, listen, let's not play fucking stupid here. You see what I see. And whether the news is purposely putting those stories out and leaving out others, that's up for debate too, but I don't want to debate about it. I just want to talk about what is known. And what is known is this. It's disgraceful. The feeling of being hunted in your own environment or in your own country while taking care of other countries. That's what I'm getting here. Now, I'm just keeping it a bean. I'm not shying away from saying this shit. I'm telling you what the 6 of Wands in reverse is about. You feel like the hometown is fucking losing. Point blank period. And that may even have something to do with your financial hardship and you taking jobs that is not the norm and stuff like that, because you're like, oh, hell no, I'm breaking free of this shit. And if it's going to be this way, I got to go through it this way, then so be it. But I'm not going to be pussyfooting around with y'all. If y'all want to debate me or bring up conversation or talk about how this way of life is this way, because I'm going to bring up how that way of life is bullshit, how they fucked people over, how they touch little kids, whatever. Yeah, you on that type of time. Just had to put that out there. And then this goes in line with higher education too. Oh, is this much to go to college? Fuck that. Going online to school, or I'm going to learn astrology or some shit. Look at the 10th house dealing with your career. Okay. Recognition, status, how you're showing up as an authoritative figure. So for the Taurus energy, you're showing up as somebody who's moving on a whim. Someone who does not necessarily know where to go because they're so traumatized and troubled from where they came from. All right? This could deal with childhood issues. It could be relevant in the way you present yourself, or just your views on certain things, right? Because this is something, 10th house is about how you're seen as an authoritative figure. So even in your dominance, you can come across as jaded. You can come across as salty, bitter. And it's because of your opinions on certain things. So I'll give you an example. Like, you see how I brought up those things in the 9th house? Someone can look at that and pick it apart like, oh, so you got a thing with society, and you got a thing with publications and fake news, and that's who hurt you? That's what they turn that to. Okay? And not for nothing, it may be true. You may have came from poverty and tough times, and you're like, man, this shit should have been changed by now. And it's coming out by the way you carry yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So, not for nothing, it also shows that of why you're moving on a whim the way that you do, because you are giving off the aura that it doesn't fucking matter. Like, life doesn't fucking matter. Like, all of the shit that everybody's making matter doesn't matter. The shit will change in a heartbeat. The shit will change by tomorrow. The shit that you believe so tough in will change by tomorrow. That's how jaded you come across, or how bruised even that you come across. And I'm not saying that shit is wrong. That shit might be right. I'm just drawing the cards and I'm talking to you. I'm telling you what I see and what I channel. Straight like that. So it's like a mixture of the person, the girl or the guy that grew up but didn't grow up because they're upset with the harsh realities of life, and you're just like, nah, don't give me that bullshit. Something going on here. Matrix. You get what I'm saying? Something that you need to be anti against, or whatever the case may be. And at the same time, you're in support of something, and that's probably just not giving a fuck. Just keep it a bean with you. Let's look at the 11th house card. Now, this is relative to the people who, your man's 100 grands. Alright? The people who really fuck with you because they take action and bring your dreams into fruition. It's the King of Pentacles card. So you got some successful, grounded, mature people around you that are your friends, that got the bag at that, and they know business. They've dealt with money for some time now. So ain't nobody gonna get over on them. You need financial advice or support, they got you. Not only that, they're probably funding or financing you in some type of way. These people have recognition and status. So where you may have a little damage control needing to be done, not saying you need it, but people might think that if you had a publicist, right, like, oh, we gotta go in there and clean that shit up. These people that support you and are your friends, they like, man, do what the fuck you do. We got you. We know who you are. You know what I'm saying? We actually are impressed. We actually have interest in what it is that you're saying. I get like a speaker who has powerful friends behind them that says, yo, talk your shit, man. Talk your shit, B. We got you. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the word, the message is what's really going to change and transform something. I think, and I also get the feeling like if you had the money that they had, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing right now. That would actually derail you from the path that you're taking and the message that you're putting forth. And this is the 12th house card for the Taurus energy. In the resting period, which I off top say is a good place to be when you're dealing with the 12th house, because you're having dreams right now that are phenomenal. They are so key to your life right now. I'll give you an example. I just had 2 dreams back to back. Really 3, but 2 of them, they were, great fucking dreams. A lot of symbology, stuff that really excites me. It's in line with what I'm doing, what I want to do. It was just so for me. You get what I'm saying? And that's part of the 12 houses, premonitions, data coming to you from dreams that has to be absorbed from the other realm, from the outer world, in order to manifest here in the 3D. And I would say it's because some people that you are intertwined with just don't have that information. And this is what's making you unique right now, because you are able to isolate in a resting space and acquire this information that can develop into tangibles that your friend network has. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, again, they may not have these dreams though. They may not have these prophetic downloads, and they don't need them. But you, that's why you grouped with them, because you got it. They see something in you, and you continuing on this path is going to assist you in, bigger picture stuff, making stronger relationships, especially in public. I'm saying, this is also where you may be healing while you rest, or you may need to rest in order to heal. Again, this isn't a holistic thing. I know the whole politically correct thing to say is this is not medical advice. Listen, man, rest. Listen to your body. If you feel some type of ailment and your body is speaking to you, rest. The body naturally heals in the resting period. Science will tell you that. Even the doctors will tell you that. Well, maybe. They might just not. And you know why. You know why if they don't. You understand what I'm saying? And also, rid yourself of stress is what I'm getting from this card. The stress is unnecessary. Sleep that off too. Because you may do more damage by being awake and running around than you would if you would just actually sleep. You could miss out on a frivolous expense or unwarranted move just because you was taking a nap. So, that's all I got for y'all for the Taurus energy reading. I hope you enjoy this. Till next time, I'm out.